Okay. Time now is 10:56 a.m. um on January 22nd, uh 23rd, 22nd, 2022nd, yes. Slept from 5:15 to 10:50. Yeah, I still can't sleep earlier than 5 a.m. Fuck. The good thing is I don't have to wake up early at all. Um but this is still bad. Thank God I don't have to wake up at like 8 a.m. or something. But I still have to wake up early on Saturday for the film set. But yeah, last night was somewhat productive. I slowed down. Like I spent some time looking at Instagram, walking around, but for the most part, I was quite productive. I edited a YouTube video, college update. I spent some time working on the short film. I bought another thing on Amazon for PD for APCA web episode. Oh, yeah, I did a bunch of stuff. I calculated the spendings. It's crazy. January so far, I've only spent about $2,100, which is actually not as much as I thought I had because I bought a bunch of Blu-rays and stuff. Um, yeah. Um, so yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, today's gonna be a long ass day, man. Today I'm going to have CTCS 192. No, 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 not today. That's not today. Oh no, no, yes, that is today, but it's the discussion section. So from 10 from noon to 1, it's CTCS 192 discussion, which is nice. Hopefully Rachel's there. Like at least I could talk to someone. After that, I'll probably spend an hour drawing, and then from 2 p.m. to 3:30, it's gonna be writing class, and then I'll go home briefly to have a quick lunch, and then I'll come back immediately for the freaking camera checkout thing for my CTPR 290, which I have no idea where we're meeting actually. If I have to come back home, if I have a thing at 4 p.m., if I have to come back to campus at 4 p.m., then what's the point? My writing class ends at 3:30. Then I might as well not come back. Then I might as well have lunch outside. Shit. Okay, that's interesting. Anyways, CTPR 290, and that goes until like 9 p.m. at night. So, long day. I hope I run into Jayun again. I don't know. I don't know. She's probably gone as good. Good as gone. Uh, yeah. But yeah, my main priority is still doing the PD for the APCA web episode, and then um my short film, which is due tomorrow night. Wang has finished the music, but again, it's like the rough draft of the music, so I have to give some notes. Um, I hope it's good. I'm paying you for this. Um, yeah, that's all. That's all.
Jamie Daggers then opened the book. I was like, is she like trying to put up a front?
Do you plan on going? A cord and a block. What is this? Can I take that out?
Yeah, these are batteries.
Okay, how many of them are there?
3.
Okay.
This is the charger, I believe. Yep. Charger and cable.
Okay.
Yep.
When y'all try that?
Specific stuff to your fancy, whatever it is, but we're not doing that. We're kind of using the camera a little bit more right out of the box. So skip the star and go down to the home icon. Whoops. And you'll see on this home icon, which is home for you guys, main 1 to main 2.
Okay, time now is 11:43 p.m. and boy oh boy, I have some thoughts. Yeah, it's late. I just finished dinner and I spent like half an hour walking around my room, just buffering, just processing these thoughts in my head. But yeah, last night I was talking about finding happiness, finding joy, and how one day of film production for a 290 is darkness and the next day is light. Today is kind of like that. Let me explain. So this morning I woke up and very successfully I immediately changed my clothes, packed my backpack, left, and boom, I arrived at the bus stop, waited a couple minutes, bus came, and then I went to SCA. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, not late, not risky. And then I went to SCA 3rd floor to draw. I drew a couple drawings. I didn't have a lot of time. I just drew a couple drawings and then I left. And then I went to SCB room 104, which is, fun fact, I've been there. I've been there twice, I think, because the world building class was held in there, in that room, for a couple of times. So I went to SCB 104 and yeah, it's a pretty big classroom and there they are, Marissa, the TA, and I just sat down in the second most front row, opened my laptop and just chilled. So it's CTCS 192 discussion class and I didn't really speak up. I mean, nobody really had a chance to anyways. But it was a low-key miss. And by low-key, I mean very, very low-key. I low-key miss sitting beside Matt. But I did DM Rachel. I was like, hey, are you coming to the CTCS 192 discussion? I turned around, and there she is at the very back at the corner of the classroom. So there's that. But yeah, at some point we had an ice-breaking activity where we form groups of 2 or 3 and we just introduce ourselves, pronouns, and why are we taking this class, and also what's our problematic fave. So this black gay guy sitting to my left, he's really nice. His name is Anthony. He's chill. And then another woman in the back was like, another Chinese woman in the back was like, hey, can I join? Turns out it's Linda, who is this associate producer, this PA or second AD woman whom I briefly met. during Imperfect Us, and I and Christian R had the chance to talk to. She's in this class, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, us three, we had a discussion, we had a talk, and it's nice and it's whatever. And then that's pretty much it, nothing else. So during that class, really what I'm doing on my laptop is I'm looking at the syllabuses of all the classes I'm taking, and I'm trying to form a rough timeline of every assignment / exam I have to submit throughout this semester. Turns out I don't have a lot, but I still have a bad feeling that I'm going to be insanely busy. So anyways, Rachel's here. She's back from Hong Kong. And I talked to her. And oh my god, I have so much to fill in with Rachel. Because the first week of semester happened. There's a 290. There's also all this other stuff. With CCCS 192. And I don't know, APCA, whatever. So I filled her in. And so here's the jam. Here's the jam, okay? So my original plan is I'm gonna go to CTCS 192 discussion. I'll have RIT 340. I'll go home, have lunch. I'll come back out, and I'll take 290. But situations have changed. I just remembered that the TA of 290cc sent us an email saying that camera checkout will be 4 p.m. today, which means I have to be on campus at 4 p.m. My RIT 340 ends at 3:30. So I can't go home, make lunch, eat lunch, and come back within half an hour. That's impossible, obviously. So I have to stay at school the whole day. Which means the only chance I get to eat lunch is literally right now at 12:50 afternoon. So, well, I have no other choice then. So yeah, I went. So I ran into Shirley. That's cool. I also ran into a few people. Like it's weird. Okay, so Rachel's like, oh, let's go to Panda Express. I wanted to go to USC Village because I don't want Panda Express. I want Kava, but sure. So we went to the Panda Express, the canteen at Tuition Center. Apparently Rachel already brought lunch herself. All she needs to do is a microwave. Turns out there is a microwave inside the canteen, but apparently nobody knows about that, but it's literally right there out in the open. I remember last semester I brought home like some noodles or some rice, and I had to eat it cold because I couldn't find a microwave. Turns out there's a microwave there the whole time. Okay, anyways. I decided to go for Burger Crush, which is a burger restaurant. A lot of people, tons of people lining up outside of Burger Crush. Or not lining up, but crowded outside. And then there's another super long line outside of this taco restaurant. And I don't want to get Panda Express, so I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just get burger. And I went up and I'm like, what the fuck? How do you order? So I went up to a woman, and someone who's working there, and I was like, hey, I have a question. How do you order food here? And I said it in an almost ironic way because I've been to restaurants, I know how to order food, but how do I order food here? And then people are like, oh, the kiosk. And I'm like, oh, sure. So I went to the back, I went to the kiosk, and I ordered $14 double crush burger with fries and fountain drink. Pretty simple. And then I waited for maybe 20 minutes, and then I finally got my thing. Honestly, I thought it's going to take a whole hour. Thank God it didn't. I also ran into North, who was lining up to eat Panda Express. And I thought North would want to like talk to me, but North just left. So I'm like, okay. So I grabbed my burger and drink, and I went outside to a couch, and I sat down and I talked to Rachel, and it was nice. I don't know why, but like being able to just sit down and talk during lunch, it's just nice. Like I don't do those things off. I don't eat food with people often. So this is, I don't know, there's something kind of nice about it. Maybe that is the little gift I gave myself today. The little present is a burger, but also the drawing. So, Rachel, we talked. She's completely oblivious. As expected, she's completely oblivious about 290. She has no idea that we're doing this exercise thing. And she's freaking out. And she started like ranting and rambling about like Hong Kong, how her apartment in Hong Kong is basically fucked. He took everything he has, and she is fined 2,000 something Hong Kong dollars when she flew back to the US because she had an extra luggage plus another luggage is overweight. And then now her closet is too full and she needs to sell some stuff again. And she started ranting about it. I just look away and I'm like, damn. You know, it's funny because I always like, for years I've yearned for a girlfriend. But I'm not like an incel type at all. I do have tons of woman friends. Especially Rachel, who's a bit of a clumsy person. Whenever she just, oh, this happened, that happened, this happened, I'm just like, yeah, that sucks, yeah. But yeah, so I have RIT 340, so I immediately went. I finished my burger 6 minutes before class, or like 5. So I went to wash my hands and then I walked to GSF. And then I went to my RIT 340 class. I was late for 2 minutes, it's okay. And today's class was chill. We just looked at an essay prompt and we just read an essay out loud. It's really cool that depends on which professor you take, RIT 340 could be really chill. Like, there are only 4 writings. We don't even have like writing, like daily writing assignments or whatever. That would be hell. So thank God. But yeah, I spoke up a couple times. We had to read out loud, so I had to read a paragraph out loud. I asked the professor something about the essay, so it got me brainstorming. So that's cool. I enjoy writing actually. So it got me brainstorming. What should I write about? How should I go about it? So anyways, RIT 340 is done. And I asked Rachel, where is she? She's at the gym. So I went to SA 3rd floor for the second time. And I continued drawing. For about 20 minutes, I just drew. I actually didn't draw. Actually, I wrote about Chinese time, like ancient Chinese timekeeping. So that's cool. That's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, actually. Just write it down, create a clock, but in ancient Chinese. Or like not ancient, like classical. And then it's 3:55-ish, and then I went downstairs and I went to SCX and I saw Ben and another guy, and then Audrey. Should I say her last name? Audrey S. Not to be confused with the other Audrey S, who is Asian. So, White Audrey, who is my trio mate. And another girl came, and I'm like, hey, I'm in your trio. They probably didn't even know, but I remember people's faces really well. And then we went upstairs, and boom. Boom, 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 boom. This is the camera storage room. You know Drew's storage room in CMD? This is like that, but maybe 3 times larger. Big racks of cameras and whatever. We didn't get to take a look too much. We stood outside mostly, but more and more people came. At the end, about 10 people joined. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a majority of the class. CC is here, and we essentially just... some woman came out and taught us how to use the tripod. And then we were given the camera case, and they just told us to go check it out. It's called the camera checkout because we have to check it out, but also check out, like check out of the hotel room, check out. So me, Audrey S, and Tina, who is this white girl who is, I think, dating Ben G. There are too many Bens. Ben Collins' friend. So Tina, Audrey asked me. We had the tripod and the camera case. We opened it up, and they were really, like, both of them were really confused. Like, oh, this camera. Oh, what is this? And I'm trying my best not to brag and be egotistic, but it's like, come on, bro. So I was like, okay, so this is a lens cap. So you do this, and then you do that, and they're like, oh, okay. But I remain humble. Like, I even try to dumb myself down. Like, when I set up a tripod, I'm like, maybe it's like this, but I actually know. But I'm just saying maybe because I need to dumb myself down to appear humble. Because that's how humility works, right? Dumbing yourself down, lying, lying is cool sometimes. So anyways, after that, I gave the tripod and the camera case to the two girls, and I left. I went to SCA 3rd floor and spent an hour or more drawing, writing, listening to music again. So I went to SCA 3rd floor 3 times. I went to the same seat 3 times today, and it felt fucking amazing. I love drawing. I love writing. I love listening to music and writing. Such a good feeling, by the way. So good. You're just completely in your own headspace. Yeah, that's the other present I gave myself today. So yeah, I mean, when you think about it, today's not so bad. So anyways, 6 p.m. has arrived. I went downstairs. I went to stage 1, and the whole class shows up, and the bald professor isn't here. Instead, it's another guy who's balding, another old white guy who's balding, and Cece's here, and we all had rolling chairs, and we learned about cinematography, which is like laughable. I came to USC to challenge myself to make better films. I'm not here to learn the same shit I've learned in CMD. And again, I'm learning the most basic things, and I know tons of other people probably have no idea how to operate the camera, but for me, it's just, come on, bro. So we learned how to use the tripod, we learned how to use the camera, we learned about ISO, just a quick crash course, but it was so quick. We had 170 minutes to explain the entire thing. But like, cameras are not that hard to use, just use it. So me, Audrey S, and Tina, we set up the tripod and the camera. It's weird because they don't touch it, they just allow me to touch it. I try to slow down when I set up things because I'm trying to encourage them to join in, but they just let me do it. And I'm like, okay, I get it, I'm the pro, but come on. Which I'm not, of course, I'm not the pro. I mean, compare me to Cliff, I'm nothing but a speck of dust. But yeah, we turn on the camera, I put in the battery, I know how to operate. The thing is, this is Sony FX30. I've never used an FX30, but it doesn't take long for me to know which dial to push, which button to press in order to change the ISO or aperture or whatever. And then I ended up giving them a crash course on how ISO works and how aperture works and all that stuff. And it's funny because the instructor today didn't even explain too much about the exposure triangle, even though it's really important. Also, holy shit, more restrictions. So 290 is the fuckiest class I've taken because there are more instructions now. Apparently, we have to film in PP4, picture profile 4, because we shouldn't color grade our short films, which is weird. Then why not do PP off? So I don't know, that's oddly specific, but of course I'm not going to follow that. I'm going to do BT 2020. And then apparently we can't use slow motion or fast motion in our short films. We can only do it in post. But the thing is, if I film a video in 24 frames per second and then I forcefully turn it twice slower in post, then it's gonna look janky unless that's the artistic choice, but normally you don't do that. But yeah, we went through all of that shit. We had a break. We had a very quiet break. Also, it's super awkward. Rachel is like a panicking little bird. Because during the camera checkout, like we're all quiet and we're all speaking in English. Suddenly, Rachel walked across the room to me and said something to me in Cantonese and then walked all the way away. Which is like super random and very awkward, and everyone saw that. And it's like, oh, come on, bro. Same here, Rachel would just wander off to me and say something to me in Cantonese and then walk away. And it's like, come on, man. Yeah. So, Pepper's like 2 years younger than Rachel. And Pepper's holding herself way better than Rachel. Like, Pepper's going places, by the way. It's horrifying. Okay, yeah. Soundstage 1, cinematography class. We had a break. I talked to Ryan a little bit. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's fun. Playing around with the camera is fun. But yeah, so more restrictions. One is, as it turns out, because in a trio, there's student A, student B, student C. Theoretically, after the camera checkout, I take home the tripod and a camera case. Because on Friday this week, I'm going to shoot my thing. And then on Saturday morning, I'm going to hand it over to student B. And then on Sunday morning, student B will hand it over to student C. And then on Monday, student C will keep it or give it back to student A. You know, and so on and so forth for all 3 projects. And then we return the cameras back to the equipment room at the end of the semester. So, I'm forced to shoot on Friday? So at the end, I was like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, I'll still shoot on Sunday. Because the plan is me, Glenn, and Kaylin, we're going to shoot on Sunday. So we're shooting on Sunday. I told my trio mates about it. And they're like, okay, let's switch. Let's do that. So yeah, I'm doing that. But I just find it so baffling. How are you forcing me to film this on a specific day? And then after the cinematography class, CC basically poured us more information. The thing is, today is basically one giant exposition scene. It's just nothing but information, and it's just, a lot of info about cinematography and, etc. And for a lot of people it's crazy. For me it's fine. I know all this shit already. But then CC starts telling us all this information about permits, insurance, hazards, actors forms, this form, that form, this paperwork, that paperwork. And we're all just like, what? What? Like, we didn't audibly say what, but in my head I'm like, what? So for exercise 1, CC told us that I recommend you guys to just film at SCA, so within the film school. So not only can I not film outside of USC, I can't even film outside of SCA now. This is so boring. And then on top of that, you can't have any hazards. So no fire, no water, no smoke. And I'm like, I get it. I'm not going to play with fire. And then she said, no running. Running? I can't even make my actors run. You know how many times I've made my own actors run in my short films? That has happened so many times. My first short film ever, Heart Like Soldier. Literally, I had kids, including me, run. There is no way I can't make people run. And then so at the end of the class, I went up to the cinematography instructor and I said, can I have a gimbal? Like, is it okay if I use a gimbal? And the instructor was like, yeah, sure. I don't think it's up to me. And I'm like, okay, but I was told to ask you. And then I went to CC and I asked her, so I can't have my actors run? And she's like, no. And I was like, can they just run slowly? And I'm like, and she's like, as slow as possible. Slow run. You can't even fucking run. And then she said, Oh, also, I forgot to say, no stairs. No stairs. I can't even have actors be on stairs. What? What? Okay. I've definitely made short films where characters are on stairs. I've had Dreams of an Empty Street, I had 2 actors stand on rocks beside the ocean. Like, on a dam. And I didn't even plan to do that. The producer guy was like, let's just go to the rocks. I had actors kiss and there's no intimacy coordinator. But it's not my idea because the actors wanted to kiss. I'm not the one doing it. Now I can't put them on stairs. So my entire story idea for my first project completely scrapped. The original idea is there's Kaylin, there's Glenn. Glenn walks and drops his wallet. Kaylin picks it up in an alleyway, and Kaylin looks left, looks right, and saw Glenn and ran towards him. And it's just this chase sequence, wide shot, medium shot, and then Glenn walks up the stairs, and Kaylin walks up the stairs and trips and falls. Kaylin's like, ah! And then insert on the wallet. Glenn hears it, turns around in slow motion, walks back to Kaylin, and we have Glenn reaching out to take back his wallet, and it's like the Michelangelo painting of the God and Adam, kind of situation. Now, all that is scrapped. No running, no stairs. Definitely don't show an injury, even though it's fucking fake. Also, no slow motion. So, yeah, that's fucked. So, I and Rachel, we left. We walked away, and she drove me home. And on the way, I was just brainstorming, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do then? We have 0 restrictions. That's crazy. Last week, Cheyenne, the crazy blonde woman, told me that there are not a lot of restrictions in 290. That's false. There's nothing but restrictions. I can't do anything. So, after I came back home, I actually brainstormed and I managed to somehow, by the magic of the gods, I was somehow able to whip up a story idea, and it's completely changed. Now it's Glenn walks, drops his wallet, Kaylin picks it up, and then there's like this L-shaped corner. Now Kaylin is gonna go to Glenn and give him back his wallet, but Glenn is standing outside. Ambush, like the scene in Seven Samurai. And then Kaylin's gone, and then Glenn follows her. At some point, she disappeared. And then turns out Kaylin's at a corner trying to ambush Glenn. It's like 2 plot twists within 3 minutes. It's like fun little Key and Peele sketch thing. So it's cool. There's no running, there's no screaming, there's no staircase. There's no slow motion. There's nothing. So yeah. I'm just gonna do that then. At least I can play with aspect ratios. That's the one thing we can do. Aspect ratios. Beyond that, not much else. Wang this morning emailed me saying that the music is complete, and she sent me this whole essay. Not essay, but like 3-4 paragraphs. She watched the film Syndromes in a Century and read articles and did research. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, holy shit, you didn't have to do so much to make a score for me. That's insane. And then, yeah, Naja's working on the sound. And then at the same time, I'm talking to the producer of APC Web Episode 1, and he's like, can you only spend $60? Sure. I'm gonna do that. I think I can, actually. It's complicated, but it's not that complicated, actually. But yeah, I'm probably bringing Christian and Rachel. And Christian R and Rachel are joining this set. I hope Jiayun shows up. Okay, speaking of Jiayun made an Instagram story reposting Asian Pacific Islander Film Festival, which, as of now, I have a little beef with, because they rejected my short film. Obviously, I don't really care, because my short films, they get rejected all the time. It's normal. the world of filmmaking is cutthroat, but I have a little beef with them. So I thought to myself, should I tell Jaeyoon this? So I told Jaeyoon, like, they rejected my short film, but I'm going to show up anyways because I want to show up out of spite. And then Jaeyoon replied with 3 words. Yes, do it. So hey, at least she replied. I expected her to not reply to me for like 4 days. And then I thought maybe I should add something to it. So I said, oh, well, to be fair, they only pick 8 films out of all the submissions, so I'm not even that mad. And then she responded, yeah, that's fair. Another 3 words. So obviously she's not interested in talking to me. Also, my legs are burning right now, so so I think it's pretty obvious that she doesn't want to talk to me. She's not interested. And here are my thoughts. Jaeyoon might be a false alarm. She's Pepper Part 2, maybe. Because I just can't. The thing is, like, when Jaeyoon spoke to me pretty much every single day when I was in Seattle, I was like, holy shit. But now she's doing the opposite. Now I want her to talk to me, and she doesn't talk to me. And with these very short responses, I don't think Jaeyoon's interested in me anymore. Like, as if she's romantically interested in me in the first place. When I said interested, I mean like conversationally, interested in talking to me. And I honestly don't know why. Like, she was so, like, into talking to me during Seattle, but then now suddenly she's not. And nothing happened in between. It's not like I insulted her or said something or did something, right? So there's really not a lot of rhyme or reason to her suddenly being uninterested in me. So here are my thoughts. I know for the last few weeks I've been a pendulum swing. I'm swinging back and forth between, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna go after Jaeyoon because it's YOLO, it's now or never. And then another part of me is like, you know what, it's not worth it. Like, Jaeyoon doesn't even seem that interesting. I'm not even that interested in her anyways. Like, after Mary and Leslie, I haven't felt the same way about a person. Like, I have not. And then yeah, at some point I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna try. Maybe Jaeyoon's just waiting for me to take action. Maybe I'm just overthinking things. All I need to do is to, like, DM her and say, yo, let's hang out and grab breakfast. And then now I'm thinking, nah. Here's the thing, man. There are 2 ways to go about this situation. 2 ways. One is, it's a weird allegory. It's a weird dichotomy, but one is the Western way and one is the Eastern way. One way is, I am a brave knight in shining armor and she is the princess. I need to make myself be known to her. I am the one who needs to act, and I need to be active to get her attention. The other way to go about this is a little Taoist, and it is just go with the flow. The thing is, I don't see her that much anyways, unless I run into her, which happened, but only once. I don't even see her that much anyways. And after having some conversation with her, I'm not actually that in love with her. So
why even pursue? To pursue is to be an idiot. And I'm kind of leaning towards that way now. It's like, just let nature take its course, and I get it. If I let nature take its course, then I might as well never date or fall in love, because I'm kind of arrow ace, and if I just let things run and I let things go, then nothing will happen to me. But maybe that's okay, because it's still better than forcing yourself into one. So, I don't know. Also, she's Chinese. Like, maybe not a good idea. Not xenophobic, just a terrible, terrible look. God awful look. Yeah, as a Hong Konger with dignity, like, terrible, terrible look. I know Jaeyun's probably not like a little pink or something like that, which I actually am not sure. But yeah, if I do go with Jaeyun, it's a bad look, really. So fuck it, I'll just let nature take its course. If I don't fall in love ever again, then so be it. I'm arrow ace anyways. Ozu never married. Anne He never married. I don't have to, It's okay, It's okay. Yeah. I really don't think I'll fall in love ever again, honestly. But I say that, and it's the second time I've said this. After Mary, I was like, I'll never fall in love. And then now after Leslie, I'm like, I'll never fall in love. But maybe I won't. Maybe I really won't. And there's nothing I can do about it. Because that's my nature, The only thing I can do is to make peace with it. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm arrow haste, that's the truth, man, Yeah. Let's hope I go to bed earlier tonight. It's 3:26 a.m. in the morning, and I have terrible news. So a couple hours ago, I listened to the music Wang gave me, and holy shit, it's terrible. When I first listened to it, I was like, I'll give it another try. Maybe it's because, it's my first time listening to it. Maybe it'll grow on me. But the more I listen to it, the more I realize, okay, I hate it completely. The thing is, her music is really good and very well mixed, but it completely does not fit what I want to do. Her music feels like royalty-free YouTube music for baking videos. I don't think she understood my short film at all. And I'm impressed because in the email, she's like, oh, I saw Syndromes at a Century and I got inspiration from this song and got inspiration from that. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But I felt none of those inspirations in her music. There are 2 tracks here, the montage and the final scene. I wrote her a very, very long email in 3 parts, actually 3 emails, trying to help her understand what's the issue. For the montage, the music is so childlike and blissful and fun and cartoony. But what I'm going for is sad and quiet and contemplative. The ending scene is even worse. She had a R&B singer singing over a hip-hop beat like it's a Kendrick Lamar song or something. And I love Kendrick Lamar songs, but come on. It's like a Walmart Kendrick Lamar song. It's like yeah, I don't know. It just feels like a royalty-free music for baking video, like for a makeup tutorial. Like I went. My temp music is MF Doom's Doomsday, and I think I might as well just use this when I submit it to Cam's Fest because it's it's melancholic, but it's accepting. It's it's heavy, it's burdened, but it's beautiful. The scene before the ending is one of the characters recalling dreaming about the apocalypse. You can't follow that up with smooth feel good R&B. That's not how it works. You have to follow that up with sad, contemplative, but hopeful. So this is ruined, and I think my biggest concern is I don't know if I can submit this shit. It's the music ruined it. Like the coloring was great because I supervise it with Luis, and I trust Naja because you can't fuck up sound with Naja. I mean, you can because there's creative choices, and I'm not supervising it, but you know, Naja has done sound with me before, so she understands what I'm trying to do. The ADR is all right, but the music, man, if the music's bad, the whole thing is bad. So I don't know. Tomorrow's the due date. So Wang has 1 day to fix all of those issues, or like at least remove the vocals. In the montage, we have like ba 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 ba, and it's like why? Why do we have ba ba ba's? And then we have like weird muffled, almost sounds AI generated vocals at the end with the R&B. Like, where did that come from? I'm sorry, but what? She even synced a beat drop to the title drop for the end credits. But the thing is, when I sent it to her, I haven't finished the end credits, so the timing isn't right. Why a beat drop? She doesn't understand. I'm not going for a beat drop. This isn't a fun reveal. This isn't a, look, it's a title. Boom. It's slow. It's slow and quiet and contemplative, and she doesn't get it. That's the issue, is we haven't had a phone call at all since the last month. Like, since I asked her to help me score, we should have had phone calls constantly. She come up with something, and then we talk about it. She comes up with the chords, and then we talk about it. She comes up with the beat, and then we talk about it. I should be following her step by step. Now she has fully conceived of this music, and it's not working, and we're 1 day away from submission. This is not okay. Completely not okay. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm kind of fucked.
Okay, it's 11:01 a.m. in the morning on January 23rd. I slept from, I think, 5 a.m. ish till 11. So 6 hours. Not the best. Yeah, I woke up like twice, and when I woke up, I was thinking, oh my god, I'm late, I need to go. And then I stopped for a moment, and I was like, wait a second, my alarm didn't ring. I don't need to wake up yet. So yeah. But yeah, today's Thursday, so it's gonna be religion class, and then I'll directly go to CTCS 192, and that's it. But today's gonna be really stressful because of the due date for my short film, which is The World Is Not Enough. Again, the music is terrible, and I told Wang, like, let's have a phone call, because this is clearly an issue of the lack of communication. So, yeah, so Wang looked at my notes and just sent me a bunch of voice messages. So, yeah, just please change and fix whatever you can. Because if the music is bad, the whole film is ruined. I might as well not submit it. Which I hate to do, because that would be a waste. Or I can submit it. I've thought about this last night, but like the montage, no music, and then the ending, I'll just use the soundtrack Retablo made for Love and Death like last year. So yeah. The APJ web episode thing, it's so fucking funny. The producer said on Wednesday night we'll give you the new updated script. That did not happen. It's already Thursday. So I'm just gonna stick with the current script. I also asked for photos because that's part of the props, is photos of the characters. The producer's not doing anything. I'm gonna email him again. If not, I'll dox the actors. That's the only way. But yeah, photos. Because I need to print them out on FedEx. It's Thursday, and the APCA shoot is actually 2 days later, so I'm kind of fucked, actually. Oh my god, I just realized the APCA shoot is 2 days later, actually. So yeah, I need to print out the freaking posters immediately for the freaking thing. Yeah. I still don't have most of the props anyways. The director and the DP are not talking in the group chat. They created the group chat and they're saying that. Here's the thing. Art department is doing the most work during pre-production, and when no one's talking during pre-production, art department suffers first. But speaking of art, interesting news, Jing Chen is showing up at Sub Club this Sunday to make fried rice. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how is he connected to Sub Club, because Sub Club is like this hippie, artsy film nerd place, and Jing Chen doesn't give that, actually. But I don't know, that's really cool. All the more reasons for me to show up that day. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so first thing to do after I go to school is to print out my permit form and then submit it to the physical production office and get it going. And then I'll take my class, and I may skip CTCS 192. I may leave after lecture simply because I have so much to do today with the props, with my short film. Yeah. Okay, skipping class. Coming back. Okay. Okay. Administration. Maybe this one. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Oh my god. Okay, fuck. Okay. Fuck.
2 signatures down, 5 more to go. Whew. Let's go, boys. Okay. Okay, 3 down, 4 to go. Okay, so time now is 6:08 p.m. I know it's not nighttime, which is usually when I do these shenanigans, but let's just do a little update-a-reno. Let's just do a little update-a-reno. Oh, someone's DMing me. Okay. So today is a fucking day. It's a day for the fucking. And I do not mean sexual intercourse. By fucking, I mean being fucked by life. Because today I am on the brink of losing my sanity because of 3 extremely stressful things all happening at once. One is the short film that I'm working on due tonight. Technically tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., but we do not want to submit too close to the deadline. 2 is the APCA Web Episode 1 production design, which is going to take place 2 days later. 3 is the CTPR 290 exercise, which I'm shooting 3 days later, all at once. Usually, if I have one of these things on my radar, I would be a little nervous, but I wouldn't go insane. But when you have 3 of these things stacked on top of each other, well, you go a little crazy. And of course, on top of that, I also have other assignments, I have videos to edit, I have a bunch of other random shit to do. But yeah, and there's Jayun as well, which I will talk about a little later. So yeah. However, I do want to say that I'm not that stressed right now. I mean, I am stressed, but I'm not actually going insane. I'm actually very calm and collected about it. I'm actually very, very controlled. I think it's because I've been in enough extremely stressful situations where I just know how to handle stress. But yeah, in theory, I'm fucking stressed. I have my short film editing timeline open here. I just finished lunch. It's 6 p.m. and I just finished lunch. And I was starving. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about what happened today first. So this morning, woke up. I barely made it to the bus stop, but I made it. And then I went to the FedEx office and printed out my permit. My USC on location, on campus permit. And I printed it out and I went to PPO, Physical Production Office, which is on the 3rd floor of SCA, familiar territory. And I went in there and I asked, like, there's a black woman there at the counter. I talked to a lot of people today. So I went to the counter and I talked to her and I was like, hey, like, what to do with this? And she's just like, okay, so I need a student certificate first. Thank God I don't need to print it out. They already have the form. So I filled in the student certificate and the on-campus permit. 2 documents. 2 paperwork. And on the 2nd page of the on-campus permit, there are 7 blank spaces. Actually 5, but there are 7 lines because I need 7 signatures and in that order. It's like a video game. I'm serious. It's like a fucking video game. It's like collecting Voldemort's Horcruxes or something, except it's signatures of a bunch of random people. So, of course, the first signature is the stamp from the PPO, the Physical Production Office. I got that immediately. I thought I would have to wait 19 business days, but thank God that didn't happen. So, I got the stamp. and I was given the paper, and turns out I'm the one who's gonna look for all these signatures. I thought I'd give the paper to them and maybe they'll just pass the paper around and they do it, but no, I have to do it, of course. So I did it. So I got the paper, I put it in my bag, and I left. But before I left, Andrew Wu showed up. Yes, I'm saying his full name. Andrew Wu from APCA showed up. He's here with a hoodie, and he's just like, yeah, just like also doing the permits. And then as I was leaving, Lisa showed up. And Lisa's like, oh, hey, how's it going? And they're also doing the permit. So we're all stuck in this situation. I can imagine the PPO just going, oh my god, here comes the 290 students again. Because yesterday, today, and tomorrow, tons of like 290 students are going to show up randomly and apply for permits. So there's that. So I was late. I was 16 minutes late to my religion class. I did not expect filling in the forms to be this bothersome. Also, I lied on the permit application, by the way, just a little bit. And the lie is not even that like big. It's like I essentially said the whole shoot is just going to be me and Glenn, and I asked Glenn for his phone number. Thank God he immediately responded. But I did not mention that I have another actress with me, and also that actress is bringing another girl. But who cares? As long as people don't find out, it's okay. So the lie continues. So I carried these documents, and I zoomed over to a Manson Center, and I went to class, and I feel like I missed nothing. Today's class is about writing thesis statements. That's the whole class. And it's about interdependency. It's very philosophical. There is a bit of a group discussion moment between me and two Chinese guys with glasses. And then at some point, me and the guy went to the back and talked to another guy, another Chinese guy, probably Chinese American, without glasses this time. And we just talked about thesis statements. And that guy was like, oh, this class is so lame. Like, I feel like I'm learning nothing. It's just weird. Like, why are we like doing these exercises? And in my head, I thought, this is already a bajillion times better than Intro to Religion, because Intro to Religion is boring as fuck and we did nothing. At least we have group discussions and whatever. At least this is interesting. Like, it's interesting subject matter. Sure, if you're doing this for GE, this must be boring for you, but for me, I'm gaining knowledge, and that's cool as hell. But yeah, religion class is over. I left, and I walked to SCA, again, all the way back to SCA, and I did not have any snacks or granola bars or anything. I found 2 pieces of chocolate in my backpack. I'm hungry as fuck. In the morning, I stuffed my mouth with 2 raisin and oatmeal cookies, which, of course, I became hungry soon, so I ate those 2 pieces of chocolate just as a stomach filler, essentially. That's my lunch. So, 2 pieces of chocolate. So I went to class, went to CTCS 192, and I saw Hugo. And Hugo is very diligent. He's a diligent boy. He pulled out his laptop, he listened attentively, and he typed all the notes. And I'm just like, I cannot. I literally cannot. It's so funny, because like, when I came to USC and I took 394 with Equo, I was actually really diligent, and Equo was like, okay, you're a newcomer, you're still in that headspace, that's cool, but I've given up already. Now it's my turn. I've given up already. I don't fucking care about this class, and I want to skip it. So, yeah, I skipped it. My stomach kept growling. Andrew Wu showed up again, and, yeah. And, throughout the whole class, I was just looking at everything else on my laptop. So, there's a break, and then I talked with them too a little bit. Andrew Wu talked about APCA Web Episode 3 and how it was kind of a mess. Apparently, the actress, there are 4 actresses in this whole series, a white woman and 3 Asian girls. The white woman got mad because she was called too early, and then she's like, wow, I have nothing to do now. So it's like a producer's fault, actually. Anyways. Yeah, I left. And I'm going to go collect 7 signatures. So the thing is, if you film in SCA, yeah, believe me, SCA is big. It's a huge film school. Like, my secondary school is one building. SCA has like 6 buildings in it. Like, or 7. And of course, none of them are as big as that one building, but actually, SCA-D building, SCA, is actually even bigger, I think. But, you know, SCA is pretty big, that's cool, but also, I don't want to film in SCA because it's boring. If I can, I would like to film outside. And so, you know what, fuck it, I'm determined. I'm not gonna make bullshit. I'm gonna actually try to get all 7 signatures. So during break, I left. It was around 3 p.m.-ish. I left. I'm hungry, so coffee time. So I drank coffee to combat that hunger. And also I need to stay awake. So I went to Coffee Beans, spent $6 on a iced mocha latte, and then, which is pretty good. I also ran into Rocky. Also earlier I ran into Alicia Chu, the Thought from HKSA, with the super long eyelashes, but none of them recognized me or saw me, but of course I saw them, because I always see people before they see me. So I thus begin my signature hunt. Honestly, this is fun. It's really stressful, but this is fun, because it's so brain damaging. So I already have, okay, so the 7 signatures. Count your fingers with me. 1 is PPO, the stamp, the green stamp. 2 is the location manager of the location you're filming. 3, transportation and parking services. 4, fire safety. 5, electricity, I think. 6, the DPS watch commander. The freaking night watch. The night watch of Game of Thrones. 7, PPO again. A final signature. So I need to get all 7 signatures. And the funny catch is the PPO office closes at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So I have to get all 7 of these before 1 p.m. tomorrow. Legend has it that somebody in the past got all 7 signatures within 1 hour, which is absolutely insane. I don't know if that's even possible. But yeah, unfortunately, it's difficult for me. So I traveled all the way to Gold School of Law in that little quad again. The thing is, I don't know what that quad is called, and I don't know who to ask to sign this. So the black woman at the PPO was like, just ask whatever. Just ask whoever's the closest. So the quad, the little sitting area, is sandwiched between 2 halls. One is a Douterive hall. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I'm going to call it Douterive or Douterive. Douterive? 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 I don't know. The other hall is Lewis Hall. And Lewis Hall is where the Seoul Price School of Public Policy is. Now, I'm actually not just filming this quad. I'm going outside. I'm turning if you turn right, you hit Humbert Hall, which I have no idea what it's for. It looks like a New York hotel. If you turn left, you hit the iconic Gold School of Law, which is shaped like a brutalist concrete building. So my first stop is the Douterive Hall because it's the closest one and it makes the most sense. I went to the Douterive Hall. I found the administrator's office. No lights on, no people there. Don't know why. It's a Thursday, so theoretically somebody should be working, but of course Americans are unpredictable, so fine. So I went to Lewis Hall and I had a freaking tour. I went to the first floor and then I went to the second floor and I found an IT office and there's this guy. I think he's black too. I forgot. I think he's Latino. I forgot. I don't see color. And he's like, oh, if you go downstairs, if you go to the first floor again, there should be 2 offices. And then so I went back down, and there are no offices. There's a student affairs office, which obviously has nothing to do with filming. And there's no people inside anyways. And then I met another guy, this white guy in a suit, probably a professor, and I was like, hey, do you know, like, where to go? And then he's like, go to the 3rd floor. That's where the big bosses are. And I'm like, thank you. Went to third floor, went to the dean's office. There's another black woman at the dean's office. Very nice, spacey office too. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, this is stressful, but I'm glad I'm having a tour of the Lewis Hall, because otherwise I would never have even stepped foot in this freaking building in my entire life. This is fun. So, turns out the COO of the freaking building is not here. She'll be here tomorrow morning. And then the faculty people are also coincidentally not here. Like the faculty head or something, I don't know. So the black woman's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't help you. You can come back tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So I went back to the Dr. Reeve Hall to double check the administrator's room if there are people there. No. Fine, who cares? Oh, it's 6:23. So I then went to Gold School of Law. Because Gold School of Law is a big building, there's a lot of people, there's gotta be people in it who can sign for me. So I went to School of Law, went to the second floor, or was it third floor? Also, every time I press the elevator button today, it zaps my finger. I keep getting electrocuted today. It's crazy how much I got electrocuted today. So I went to the third floor, went to the dean's suite, and there's this woman. I'm just gonna say she's extremely attractive. It's like it's actually crazy. Like she could be an Instagram model or something. She might actually be. But anyways, so objectively speaking, okay. Anyways, I asked her about this situation, and then she went to the vice dean's office, and the vice dean immediately gave the okay. The thing is, both in Lewis Hall and in the Gold School of Law buildings, they said filming inside the building is a solid no. We've never allowed anyone to film inside the building, which is shocking, but I guess it makes sense. But my permit says outside. Ooh. And thank God the vice team was like, yeah, sure. So the woman came back and she's like, yep, I'm going to take you to another guy and he's going to sign it for you. So I went to another guy, this black guy, who was like, where do I sign? And he just signed it and he's like, yeah, go ahead. So boom, I got signature number 2. 2 down, 5 to go. So it was like 4:20-ish. I need to go to the transportation office because it closes at 5. And I need to get there before I can email the fire safety and the electricity, which is 4 and 5. So I need signature 3. So I walked all the way to McCarthy Quad to the transportation office, lined up, and there's a Latina woman there. She immediately signed it. No questions asked. And then I was like, oh, by the way, my transportation card. 2 weeks ago, I reapplied. And she's like, oh, you keep using the same one you used last semester. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Mystery solved. And then I went to Levy Library, the outside a little bit, just to take some photos and write some emails. And then I crossed the road, took a bus, came back home. I'm starving. I sweated so much. Took a shower, had a lot of dumplings, and that's it. So, permits are going. I've emailed fire safety and electricity. Haven't heard back from them. Hopefully by tomorrow morning they will send back, and I can print them out immediately, and then I can go to DPS and then go back to PPO before 1 p.m. and then have the whole thing done to the nutsacks. Okay. Also, by the way, Gold School of Law people signed it. The thing is, I'm not actually filming outside of Gold School of Law. I mean, I guess the final shot is outside the Gold School of Law. But, yeah. You know, it's fine. I can lie a little bit. It's not like they will check anyways. So the other thing is the AP Web episode. I went to Amazon and bought a bunch of postcards that I can pick up tomorrow. Also, there's this whole situation with the Photoshop and the Shining poster. So, I'm handling that right now. But tomorrow is the only day I could print that shit out at FedEx. So, don't know. But yeah, Christian texted me, Christian R, and told me he has a wall calendar and a bedside lamp. Holy shit, that's very helpful. And he's going to give it to me at the APCA meeting today. So I am actually going to go to the APCA meeting today, but not to join APCA or whatever, but to just retrieve props. So that's that. I retrieved the props. I'll leave mid-meeting because who cares? Yeah, and then my short film, I don't know, theoretically it's morning in Macau right now. Wang should be awake. Please be awake. Please finish the score within the next 18 hours. And actually within the next few hours, because I need to sleep. So yeah, I'm gonna ask Wang if she's down to call, because if she's not down to call, then I'm down to commit suicide. Naja told me that she's gonna work on this short until 2 a.m. tonight. So thank you for your sacrifice, but sacrifices need to be made, man. It's art. So yeah, those are the 3 pressing matters happening right now. I also missed the my black scissors are just completely gone. I texted Katie yesterday, and Katie sent an email to everyone saying that my black scissors are gone. But it's okay. The scissors can be gone. I can live with that. I have box cutter. I can just cut things up with a box cutter. Even though it's a little crazy, but I'm crazy, so that works out. And then I believe that's it. I also saw Harley at CTCS 192. She's like, "Hey, Enoch," which is really nice. And I asked her, "Are you helping on Saturday?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh, we need a lot of help." It's okay. Help shall be given. Oh, a little update on Jiayun. She didn't talk to me at all, but I have some new thoughts on this. I know I've been a pendulum swing in the last few days, swing back and forth from let's go for her, let's not go for her, let's go for her, let's not go for her. Right now, I'm on the let's not go for her side. Because A, it's not worth it. B, she's Chinese. C, I look at Instagram comments, and there's a type of people who are like, "Whoa, slay! You ate! Wait, no way!" You know, like Valley Girl. I know Jiayun's Canadian, but she has the mouth of a Valley Girl. So, a bit of a turnoff, you know? Maybe. So anyways, I'm not going to pursue any further. If she wants to hang out with me, sure. If not, don't care. Yes, I'm desperate for love and whatever. I'm desperate for an interesting girl, at least. I don't even need to fall in love. If I can find a girl who is interesting and layered and deep, I would be like, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. Who cares? I'll keep meeting people this semester anyways. I'll be joining 310s, I'll be doing APCA stuff, I'll be doing this, I'll be doing that, and who cares? Maybe I'll meet another interesting person. Or maybe not, and if not, it's okay. But yeah, that's the update now. Clock is ticking, my heart is pounding. Yeah.
But APCA basically aims to provide AP to cinema and filmmakers with, a voice.
Table lamp acquired. Mamma mia. Okay, time now is 9:26 p.m. Yeah, I'm super hungry right now actually, so I'm gonna go downstairs and cook. It's gonna be steak, potatoes, still lettuce. I'm gonna drink a can of Coke perhaps. Just wanna quickly talk about what happened in the last couple of hours, and then I'll update y'all again, right before bed. So yeah, I went back to SCA, took a free lift, went back, and yeah, just to grab a couple props from Christian, and Yeah, as I was walking into the elevator, there goes John Kim, the cool boy. John Kim, the cool guy, Mr. Cool. And he didn't say anything to me because he's cool, you know? So in the elevator, I said something to him. I was like, hey, how are you doing? And he's like, yeah, it's been a bit rough because I'm taking 310. And I'm like, oh, actually, in fact, I already know that he's taking 310. But I was like, oh, 310. Okay. Are you directing Project 1? And he's like, no, I'm DPing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, let me know if you need help. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's good. For sure, for sure. And then he walked away. Yeah. So I have planted my seed. But I don't think I think John Kim is not close, despite the fact that I've seen him like 5-6 times already. I feel like I'm still not that close to him, so he wouldn't just ask me to help out. But I don't know, who knows. But I hope he does, because I do want to work on a 310, and in a big way, not in a Zemeckis kind of way. uh, so yeah, or maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't have to get on John Kim's 310. Maybe somebody else's 310 would be open for me to help out. Maybe Anya's taking 310, but I don't know if Anya's taking 310 this semester. I don't know. I hope I run into her this Sunday. So next thing you know, as we were walking towards the room on the second floor of SCA, we saw Mitchell. Mitchell just left. Like, he's not gonna like be at the general meeting. He's just around. And Mitchell's like, hey, what's up? And I and Mitchell talked a little bit. Mitchell's like, yeah, go and recruit some APCA people. You'll find a lot of actors. And I'm like, yeah. And I told Mitchell I'm going to the SDA mixer thing. And he's like, yeah, me too. Good luck. So yeah, Mitchell's cool. Ultra extroverted guy. Famous fellow. Yeah. So I went into the classroom and it's really tiny. It's surprisingly small. And right off the bat, I saw Christian sitting near the front with Katie standing beside him. It still baffles me that they're dating because they're so different. But I guess that makes sense. They complement each other. Katie's active, extroverted, and Christian R is more of a quiet, nuanced guy, more of an awkward little artist. So they really complement each other. But man, really, like, I don't know why, but like, before I know Christian R, Katie has always had this commanding presence. Like, she's always like looking a little angry and looking a little, looking like looking ambitious, you know, eyes of ambition. But like today, she just couldn't help herself. But she constantly, like, even during the general meeting, she constantly talked to Christian and whispering beside him and laughing and like, damn, they are indeed in love. I wish I could have something like that. But I don't know. I truly don't know. But that doesn't feel like fake situationship love, you know? When I see them together and joking around and stuff, that feels like actual care and support. And you know what? Good for them. Even though I hate couples, I hate it when people are romantic and shit. Shut up. Stop having good feelings. Stop enjoying your life. Like, what's wrong with you? But, you know, yeah, I'm glad Katie's not with some tall jock. You know? So, yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, Christian gave me the props. I'm glad it's the third time I've been to, like, it's my third semester at USC, and it's my third semester kind of being involved with APCA, and I can say I've successfully infiltrated it in some ways. I'm not in the higher ups, but like I know most of the higher ups already. Like I went in and I saw Calix, and Calix fist bumped me, and then I saw Jake, and Jake was like, hey, what's up, how's it going? And then he said hi to me later. Katie knows me. Christian R, not even in the e-board, but he already is in the technical sense. And yeah, I sat on the ground, and instead of immediately leaving, I decided to stay for a little more. And so it's just nothing. It's just like announcements about about the club. They have PA programs, they have web episode stuff, they have this, they have that, and it's kind of crazy that now I'm part of the web episodes. It's kind of crazy. 1 year, and now I've made it this far. But again, it took Jaehyun half a semester to get to where it took for me for 2 semesters. And Jaehyun's probably farther than I am. I didn't think Jaehyun would show up in this meeting, and she didn't, because of course she has more important, cooler places to go. You know what? Now I'm like thinking I shouldn't even see her ever. Like do your thing, girl. Do your thing. Be successful and win awards. Don't count me in. I'll do my own thing. I'll win my own awards, okay? Yeah, I don't know. But anywho. Yeah, everyone left, went downstairs to play games, and I am not interested in playing games. I am not playing the Squid Games. So I and Christian R, we both left. And Christian R and Jake, they're both half Japanese, and they both speak to each other in broken, or not broken, but like they speak to each other in Japanese, but you can hear the American accent, but they still speak to each other in Japanese. It's really interesting. Anyways, we all left. I and Christian are. Oh, and then I saw Mia. So, like, a month ago or more, this Chinese American girl randomly DM'd me at 4 a.m. in the morning saying, "Oh, I'm an actress. My name is Mia, and if you have any projects, let me know." And I'm like, okay, I don't know who you are, and you're randomly telling me that at 4 a.m. That's weird, but sure. So she's there. I recognize her from her Instagram posts. So, I went up to her, and I was like, "You're Mia, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, and she shook my hand, and her hand was cold. And I was like, "Yeah, you randomly DM'd me like a while ago." And she was like, "What?" And I'm like, and then Christian R is leaving, so I immediately left. So I left her confused. But it's funny because like maybe on Instagram or word of mouth, I seem like a very cool, artsy, creative mastermind. But like in person, I'm just a small shrimp. So she's like, "What? Who is this guy?" You literally DM me at 4 a.m. asking me to put you in my projects, like, you know. But I'm not gonna, because you're extroverted and doesn't fit the role I'm looking for. So I and Christian R left, and as we're leaving, Katie crossed paths with us, and then Katie's like, and then so we stopped, and then at the entrance of SCA, we stopped for a moment, and we just talked for a little bit. Katie asked me where I live. I asked her where she lives. She lives at La Sereno or something, like I've never heard of that place. And then and then I asked Katie, like, "Do you know what's going on with web episode 1? Because like they're not sending me the script." And she's like, "Oh, I have no idea at this point." She's the head of production, and she's so over it. And then Christian R told me that the 486, they're building something on Soundstage 4, and I'm like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's like a sitcom thing, and Maisie's in that class." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And Christian's like, "Oh, I need to check it out." And I'm like, "Yeah, Maisie's building something. Bob the Builder up in here. Bob the Builder." Speaking of Maisie, she DM'd me a little bit today, because I made an Instagram story about speedrunning signatures, and Maisie's like, 290, and I'm like, yeah, a curious little cat you are. I'm stressed right now, but like, I'm not screaming and yelling. Instead, I'm just very funny. That's a good way to respond to stress. Laughter. Laugh yourself to death. That's what I'm gonna do. You curious little cat. But yeah, and then Christian R and Katie skateboarded away into the abyss, which is interesting. Katie just left. Yeah, Justin T didn't show up. It's weird. Justin T told me to come to the ABC meeting, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. And then Justin T himself did not even show up today. And then yeah, I went to the Amazon place, and I was like, you know what? Since it's after 6 p.m., I might as well grab the props I ordered from Amazon. So I did 2 table lamps and 1 owl plushie. So cute. Such a cute plushie, and I hate the fact that I'm gonna destroy it and wear it and tear it later. But I'll keep it after tomorrow's set. I'll clean it up, I'll keep it, I'll tend to it, because owls are so cute. Holy shit, man. Holy. Yeah. Yeah. And then that's it. I lifted home, and that's it. In the meantime, I DM'd Yuki, one of the actresses, for Saturday, and she sent me a photo, and she set up a group chat on Instagram between me, her, and Vivienne, another half Japanese girl, who is the other actress. And then what else? I talked to Rachel. So Christian R is not showing up on Saturday because he's doing something, and then Rachel's not showing up as well because it's going to be raining, and she lives in Sawtell, so that's super far. And yeah, so I have no one to help me on Saturday, so that's going to be fun. Hopefully I can get PAs to do something for me. Katie said she'll be there, but only for a bit in the beginning, and then the rest is up to whatever, which is fine. I guess. And then yeah, I don't know, hopefully I make some friends, hopefully I enjoy the shoot, but the props are looking okay. I think the only other thing I'm worried about is the poster, but I can just print it tomorrow. If I don't have time to print the big one, then I'll just print the small one. So for the props for the APC web episode one, honestly, I think it's gonna be fine. Honestly, I think I'm gonna make it. And then for the 290 shoot, I received an email from the electric woman. The electricity woman emailed back saying approve. So yippee-ki-yay, 4 down, 3 more to go. And then finally, the other thing is my short film. So I DM Wang, I was like, hey, we can call in a few hours if you want, and she's like, oh, I can't because family, and I'm like, oh, fine. But Wang was like, oh, I already fixed this stuff last night, I'll send it to you right now, and I'm like, okay. I just listened to it, and it's a humongous improvement. The music still sucks, don't get me wrong, it's still bad, but it's way better than when I listened to it last night. Way better. Like all the ba 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 ba, like all the vocals, gone. All the goofy like whistled, haha, life is so fun. All that stuff is gone. So it sounds better. The last track for the ending still sucks, but it's serviceable. The montage part without the vocals and the whistle sounds way better, actually. Still a little, but it's way better. And then for Wang, it's final. Like, there's literally no time on God's green earth for her to make any more changes to the score today. Which is unfortunate, but you know what? Fuck it, fine, whatever. So yeah. So the good thing about the music already being final as of now means that I'm not as stressed. There are 4 things in post. Aside from my own editing. There's ADR, coloring, music and sound. ADR is done, color is done, music is just done. Now all I'm waiting for is Naja with sound. So hopefully she gives the sound to me in time. Otherwise, I will extract my cerebral cortex and turn it into mush. I'm so creative when it comes to self-harm. And yeah, honestly, the three big things, the 290, the APCA, and the short film, I think I did quite a good job at juggling all these three things today. I think I handled the stress well, and I can't wait to be done with all of these things, man. Even though the world is not enough, I truly enjoyed editing that film. I truly enjoyed editing and watching that film. I keep watching it on YouTube, like the test edit, because I truly loved it. And I hope other people would love it too. So, February 1st, I think next Saturday, is the Asian Pacific Islander Film Festival thing. I'm going to show up, but I'm going to be in full disguise. I may buy a fake facial hair on Amazon, just because. If it's cheap, I'll buy it, because it's a cool little thing to have. I'm going to be wearing a hat, like a top hat, like a fedora, and I'll show up in character. If Jayun's there, I'll still be in character, because, like, fuck you. You know. And then, yeah, just out of spite, just out of spite. And then, the Mundane History screening this Sunday night, that's gonna be my break. That's gonna be how I'm celebrating, the end of the 3 shoots, or the 3 projects. And then there's also, like, the SCA-SDA mixer next Wednesday. Yeah, there's a bunch of random shit going on. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to those things. But yeah, I'll eat some potato, steak, and lettuce for salad right now. I'm so tired. I walked so much today, and it's so crazy that I took religion class today. It felt like yesterday, because I've done so much shit today. It's crazy. Week 2, and I'm already going all over the place. But that's good. I wanted my life to be eventful. This is eventful, maybe not in the most interesting way, but it's still eventful in some way. And I like that. I appreciate that. But yeah. Hopefully I get on some 310s, some MFAs, some 480s, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little here, a little there, some indie, whatever, get paid, vertical, commercial, music video, get famous, get rich, whatever, just go crazy. Yeah. I truly don't expect Jayun to talk to me anymore. She just randomly lost interest in me. The more I think about it, the more I think, yeah, she's not worth it. Not only is because she's just super busy, so she's not socially available, but she's Chinese, she's very Americanized, she doesn't seem that interesting, and she's barely there. So I don't know. I do not know. There's maybe I'll never see her again. Because, like, the thing is, like, last semester, I saw Katie for a little bit from afar for an ABCA general meeting, and then I never saw her for the entire semester. Even though she's also in SCA. You can actually see someone and then not see them for months. Because it just happens like that. Like Mo, I don't know if Mo had graduated or not, but Mo is a USC student, right? I saw him on Candy or Movie and then he just disappeared. Like, I don't know, where is he now? Maybe he's still somewhere around here and I wouldn't know because I just don't see him. So yeah. Okay, my boys, time now is 4:13 a.m. in the morning. It's late as fuck, and I did not do anything. I did not edit video essay, I did not watch any anime or anything. For the last 3 hours, I've been doing nothing but my short film. I spent 1.5 hours writing every single line of dialogue into Chinese, like written Chinese. That took a really long time. And thank God I already had the English subtitles written down and had the subtitles, synced to the dialogue, which I'd done a few days before. But Nadja's taken a while. Nadja told me, okay, maybe at first it's like, okay, I'll give you the soundtrack at 2, and then she's like, okay, maybe 2:30, maybe 3. And now it's 4:13, and she still hasn't finished it. But I thank her a lot. I'm not paying her. She's staying up super late for my short film for free. I feel really bad about this. But I need it. I really do need it. Yeah, Wang's new music, not too bad. By not too bad, I mean still bad, but a way better improvement than before. The vibe change. The thing is, it's serviceable. It doesn't ruin the whole film as of now. The second version of the music that Wen gave me, it's pretty much the same as the first version, but with vocals removed, and it's fine. It just changes the tone of the ending a little bit. It just makes the tone feel nice and breezy, which shouldn't be the case. But I hope people will still like it. I was translating the subtitles to Chinese and I thought, damn, the dialogue's so good. I've never written dialogue this good before. This is top-notch Enochian dialogue, and I'm not this confident all the time, The end credits is done. It's smooth. I have everyone's names in. And I added a little dedicated to my home and Saiwan-ho in the beginning. So everything's done. I'm just waiting for the sound. And when the sound is done, then I'm just going to export it. It's ready to go. And then I'm going to go to bed. Unfortunately, I'm going to bed really late. And unfortunately, I have to wake up a little early tomorrow. Simply because I need to get the permit signatures before 1 p.m. and then after 1 p.m. maybe I'll print out the posters for tomorrow's prop. I may go to Target and buy a red lipstick as well, because I don't know. I don't want to ask the actresses to bring their own red lipstick, and also I could use a red lipstick and I could just keep it because I can use it myself too. So who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah. Nadja, please. Not this again. Last February, I was really, really stressed out because I'm waiting for Nadja's sound. Now it's the same thing. I'm not super stressed out because in theory we still have more than 3 hours left before deadline, but I'd rather not. I'd rather the sound be available now so I can take a shower and go to bed in peace.